Hey Joanna, this is Miss Tracy, and I wanted to go over lesson 108 with you. Looks like you had some struggles with the percents. Now, in this first problem, you got these two correct without any issue. It's the 0.04% that you had struggles with in creating the fraction and the decimal. So let me go over here and show you how that works. So if you've got 0.04%, all right, so the way that we would get rid of this, turn this into a decimal, would be to divide this by 100. So we want to put this over 100, right? So with our calculator, we're going to say 0.04 divided by 100. That's the decimal. So the decimal for this percent is 0.0004. That would be the correct decimal. It's almost like you're taking the these two zeros here and moving them down here to divide. Now, when you want to turn that into a fraction, what we have to do is put this over this whole number over the number of places behind the decimal. So that would be 4 over 1, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 places. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. That would be the correct what's the word I'm looking for? The correct fraction here. This fraction is just how we get to the decimal. So to the decimal by dividing by 100. And then to write the fraction, we put the number over the tens value based on the number of places. In the decimal. So the tens value based on the number of places in the decimal is 10,000. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, or places, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, right? So if you go with me and look, you would say this is the tens place. This is the hundreds place, or hundredths place. This is the tenths. This is going to be the thousandths. And that would make this the 10,000ths place. So the 10,000ths place is where the 4 is. So the 4 is over 10,000. Now, I know that we can reduce both of these. You didn't have to, but you can reduce them by 4. So we know that top number is going to be 1. And all I have to do is take 10,000 and divide it by 4, and I get 2,500. So this is this reduced. All right, so that is that first one. I know that's not very clear what all I did by looking at it now, but remember to go from the percent to decimal. We divide by 100. And then we put that number over its place value to go to the fraction. Okay? All right, so let me do that again for you. I'm just going to start all over just to refresh it and get it in your head. I know sometimes numbers like that, like this, can be hard because you're thinking to yourself, man, that decimal's a little confusing. What do I do with it? Where do I put it? So remember, we take the base number here to go from the percent to decimal, we divide by 100. That's what the symbol means. This symbol means divide by 100, right? That's what that means. So 0.04 divided by 100 is going to move this decimal space 2 places to the left. So that's going to equal 0.0004. This 4 place value is the 10,000ths. And the easy way to get there is just count the number of places it is behind the decimal, and then that would be for the fraction. You put that number over the place value, or that many zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4 places behind the decimal, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. It works the same way. That's probably a little bit clearer instructions and less wordy. So try to think of it like that. Now you can go back and you can redo this assignment. And there's one more that you missed. That this would have been 2 of the things that you missed. You missed a total of 5. When there's only like 16 points, missing 5 brings you down to a D. And you typically have better grades than that. So I wanted this one to help you with. So let's look at the next problem. And I do believe that it was the next to the last problem, which would be number 6 here. Yes. So this was one. I'm just going to copy this over to my drawing program to help you out here. This was one that it's sometimes hard to wrap our heads around, right? So the first thing we have to do is convert this to a decimal within the percent. So 1 divided by 5, or 1 divided by 5 is going to be 0.2. So we add, that just takes the place of this fraction. So this becomes 8.2%. All right, now we do the same thing here. 1 divided by 8 is 0.125. So that's 9.125. We are just using it to replace the fraction because that makes our life a lot easier when we go to multiply it by 100. All right, so now that it is a percent, to take it to a decimal, we're going to divide both of these by 100. So 8.2 divided by 100. And that's going to be 0.082. And then 9.125 divided by 100 is going to be 0.09125. That would be your answer. Okay, so that is all you had to do for those. Convert this to a decimal and then divide this number by 100. And when you divide this by 100, you remove the percent sign because that's what the percent means, divided by 100 or out of 100. That's what percent means. Percent, there's 100 cents in a dollar in one, or 100 hundredths place in one. So it's out of 100. So out of 100 to get to the decimal. All right, that's all you had wrong in those in that lesson. But those that you missed have a great impact because there's not that many points in the entire problem. And I do believe that's all that you missed. Let me make sure. Okay, so I didn't catch it at first, but you also missed this first blank here, the fraction for this percent. So we're going to redo that. You had 45 over 2, which is not correct. So let me look at that for you. 22.5% converted to a fraction. So 22.5%, we want to convert that to a fraction. So the first thing we have to do is convert it to a decimal. So 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. So 22.5%. So the next thing we have to do is go from a percent to a decimal. So that would be 22.5 divided by 100, which would equal 0.225. We look at our place value here. This goes from tenths, hundreds, thousandths. So we would have 225 over 1,000, right? 1, 2, 3 places, 1, 2, 3 zeros. So now all we have to do, you could leave it like this, but I prefer that you try to reduce it because that is good for you to understand how that works. It's another process that works well. So I think that we can divide everything here by 25. So 225 divided by 25 is 9. So that equals 9. And then 1,000 divided by 25 is 40. So this would reduce to 9 over 40. These two no longer have any common factors, so this is the most reduced form of this fraction. So this was, again, this was that first, this first one here. You got this one correct. So I'm not sure what happened. Usually we go from the decimal to the fraction. So I'm not sure what happened. You got the decimal right, but the fraction, maybe it was a typo, I'm guessing. But that one, you got this one, and this one incorrect. And then that other problem where there was 2, and those were the 5 that you missed. So you can go back and you can redo lesson 108 and bring that grade up because you got the others right. So I think, maybe you were looking at it wrong, or maybe you were in a hurry, because this is fairly straightforward. And sometimes when things are straightforward, sometimes we rush and make mistakes. I'm not sure if that is what happened, but I want you to get your best understanding of the material. And when you have that, I want you to get credit for that understanding of the material. Okay? So go back and redo that when you have a minute. Today is, we're not actually having classes today. I don't know what you're doing, but this could be a good day to do it because you're kind of stuck at home with bad weather. Hopefully you have power. I hope that you guys didn't get hit hard by the storm. I'm not sure where you reside, but I want you to be safe. Know that I care about you and I care about how well you're doing. And if you ever have any questions about the work that we're doing, please message me and ask. I would be happy to help you at any point. I actually miss seeing your face because it was such a happy face to see every week. And I wish you had stayed in class with us because I think that you would have made some really good friends if you'd given yourself some time. And I think you could have been a good influence on the other girls, quite honestly. All right, sweetheart, that's all I have. I will see you hopefully soon. Bye for now.